have Sitali Pranayama. After Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, this is your fifth pranayama. After Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, there was Surya Vedana, Ujjayi, which are both typically Shakti. Then last week we had Shitkari, which is very typical, leading to Shiva domination. Today we have Sitali, which, if you look at the logic and the build-up, you see that the next one builds on the previous pranayamas. There's very clear logic. It becomes more sophisticated, more powerful. So, chapter 2 of the Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Sutra 57, Svatmarama says, then Sitali is described. Draw energy into the tongue and perform kumbhaka as before. Then the intelligent practitioner should slowly release the energy through the nostrils. So you notice I skipped the part between square brackets, where you are told to protrude the tongue a little outside the lips. That has been added later by ignorant interpreters who interpreted pranayama as breathing exercise. The tongue, remember Shambhavi Mudra, taste, remember the chakras. Taste is which chakra? Yes, the water center. Taste is directly related to Svadhisthana chakra. This is the essence of yoga, what I tried to tell you before. And I've mentioned it last week also, I think. When you do something and you do it with your heart and soul, with enthusiasm, with inspiration, it is 100 times more powerful than when you do something just technically, which is usually the way we do things. Sitali Pranayama, Sitali means cooling. What are you cooling? The fire. Manipura chakra. How do you do that? You douse the fire with water. When there is a fire in town, the fire brigade comes and they spray water on the fire. That is what you do with Sitali. That is why it is called cooling. You cool down the fire of Manipura chakra. By stimulating Svadhisthana chakra, that energy rises up and influences Manipura chakra. It sounds all very superficial, but Manipura chakra is responsible for every action, whether that is physical action, verbal action, or even thought. Manipura chakra is the driver behind every action on every level. So if Manipura chakra is not under control, if the fire is just burning, it leads to uncontrolled action. And that is the reason why we always end up in trouble, why we always end up in conflict. But it is also the reason why, when confronted with misery, we just drown ourselves in misery, because the thought is also not controlled, because fire is just burning. So cooling the fire allows you control over your actions and reactions. We've done the both poses and Mayurasana to work on Manipura chakra. More importantly, to learn to control it. So with pranayama, you bring it to a higher but more subtle level. The importance of this exercise is quite significant because many diseases result from uncontrolled fire. Stomach diseases, ulcers, overproduction of gal, the juice that burns when you have stress. Stress is a result of Manipura chakra reacting to a situation but not taken control of. And in the long term, it leads to physical problems, especially related to the digestive tract, to the stomach and the intestines. The fire organs, liver and the spleen, suffer from Manipura chakra not being in control. How does it work? Stimulate taste by thinking of some delicious food so that your mouth waters. This sounds a little bit funny, maybe even ridiculous, but it is very powerful. Because what you're doing by activating taste is you supercharge Shiva inflow. Last week we had Shiva inflow, but now you supercharge that Shiva inflow by thinking of drinking a delicious drink, ingesting a delicious food, while taking in Shiva energy. If you understand this, I'm sure I mentioned it last week. Religious scriptures of all cultures and continents talk about the drink of the gods, soma and ambrosia. I mentioned Prahlajani, who claims to have a hole in the palate through which he feeds himself, so he doesn't need food or water. Stimulate the taste, literally. Make your mouth water, either by moving your mouth, your tongue. If that doesn't work, think of some delicious food or drink. It really works. And then you drink. Then you drink the nectar, the divine nectar, the soma, the ambrosia. All these scriptures are full of this phenomenon. It's described in symbolical language. It's being likened to honey, to milk, to what ancient people consider to be luxury and delicious and special. Why? Why do we do this? Why did the ancient people symbolically linked Shiva energy with something delicious? That is to open your heart. Because if you just think about taking in some Shiva, it works, but it's marginal. To supercharge it, you activate the taste. And with that, because it's directly linked with Svadhisthana chakra, energy, samana prana from Svadhisthana chakra, rises up and cools the fire in Manipura chakra. If you have a fire problem, this is the exercise to do. If you have a lot of stress at work, many people do, because it's very competitive, many work hours, complex work environment with psychological games and manipulation, expectations, deadlines to be met. You need this exercise. Not just once, that won't work. It's a holistic medicine, you need to take it every day. Then it will really work. Good. Let's have a look at the next sutra, 58. Oh, first about 57, I've erased. I scratched out protruding the tongue a little outside the lips. At least make a note or something, or just scratch it out. Because it's totally incorrect and distracting. Sutra 58, this Kumbhaka named Sitali destroys diseases of the abdomen and spleen and other diseases such as also fever, biliousness, hunger, thirst, and the bad effects of poisons. So I basically explained already the effect which is described in Sutra 58. But it's not just physical diseases or the symptoms, physical symptoms. It has a profound effect on your mental functioning. Because you gradually bring Manipura chakra under control. It is what is required to stay cool in difficult circumstances. Circumstances that otherwise trigger stress reaction. And many people in our modern society live in a constant condition of stress. So you reduce the effect of stress. Then in combination with your further development in terms of evolving consciousness, the next step is that you will then eliminate situations that cause stress. You might actually choose someday to change your career, if only for this. So, Shiva in, but with the stimulation of taste. Kumbhaka. And then Shiva and Shakti slowly out. Sutra 57 says, then the intelligent practitioner should slowly release the energy through the nostrils. Plural. The intelligent practitioner sounds a little bit strange. Why would Svatmarama say the intelligent practitioner? Why not just the practitioner? Well, that's the whole point of this book being written in symbolical language. It's secretive. And the secrets can only be accessed by somebody who is properly initiated in those secrets. And that is you. The intelligent practitioner is the one that receives guidance from somebody who is initiated. When you realize that, what this means, you realize that many yoga teachers with diplomas, some even with authority, they are not properly initiated. That's another story. Okay? Questions about Sitali Pranayama? Yes, Neda?
In the previous pranayama, when we took in Shiva energy, we took in it very quickly, so we took in larger amounts. And then in this
You try to accelerate the inflow of Shiva.
And then in this one, so in the other one, the speed is accelerated, and in this one, it's the power is accelerated, then it's supercharged.
No, this is going in the direction of Kechari Mudra.
Okay.
You introduce feeling.
Okay.
You know, there are prayers. Real prayer is based on higher emotion. Admiration is one of them. That is why they created the image of Mother Maria, who gave birth to a baby without ever having had sex, intercourse. That is not realistic, and it is not meant to be. It became a distorted concept, but it is the image of Mother Maria is designed to open your heart, to admire. Wow, what a beautiful image. But you do this in contemplation, of course. A real prayer is contemplation. And actually, it is designed to either accelerate Shiva inflow, but there is also prayer designed to accelerate Shakti inflow. So there is the image of Mother Maria, but there is also the Father in heaven. If you look deeper into that, you see it's all the same. And actually, if you understand it, it is, in its simplicity, it's amazing how powerful it is. If it is done correctly, because like yoga, prayer is also often done wrong. But prayer, the essence of prayer is samadhi. It's the highest form of meditation. When you understand this, if you are a Christian or a Catholic, you will look at your religion very differently than before. Okay.
And how to do when we let out the Shiva and Shakti at the same time? Last time I was not clear.
Good question. Start with the easy part, which is outflow of Shiva, which is like expelling the water. In the Kriya exercise that we learned, Vashti. Then once you have that going, you stretch up the neck and you imagine energy coming out from the extension of your spine. Shakti energy. Because you have to do two things. Start with one first, and when you have that going, then you introduce the other one. Same as last week. We started with Shiva first, and once you have that going, you start with Shakti in. So now we start with Shiva out. You have that going, and then you stretch up the neck, and you imagine Shakti.
So we divide the count of 14 into two?
No. Outflow is count to 40. You do both. But you build it up by starting with Shiva out. And when you have that going, Shakti out. Shiva Shakti out at the same time, counting to 40. Do not divide it in two separate parts. It's followed by Sambhavi Mudra, but after asana we will come back to how it worked again. Okay? Let's have a short break then.